Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Channel 8 sports presentation. Today from East Brunswick High School Gymnasium, it's Bears basketball. Hi, I'm Jimmy Allinder, and I'm being joined this afternoon by Phil Hill. Phil, in this inaugural game of the East Brunswick winter sports season, today, East Brunswick boys basketball, they're hosting New Brunswick. And your thoughts on East Brunswick so far? They're a 3-3 team, but are they a 500 with a 500 record?
Well, I think that 3-3 is rather deceiving, Jim. You got to remember they played in that great Eastern States tournament where they lost 2 games and won 1. They lost to Patterson East Side by 4 points, lost to Western Catholic by 2 points, and they blew out a Wellesley, Massachusetts team 72-47. So they're tourney tested tough, and it's going to bid well for them in the GMC. Bo Henning, an excellent coach, as you know, he's got a fine team. I happened to see him their first game against Piscataway where they got blew out themselves, but since then they've settled down quite a bit, and I think you're going to see a very solid team by these Bears.
Okay, let's just break down East Brunswick a little bit. They have a little bit of experience. They have a little new blood playing this year. Let's talk about the team. What's your opinion of East Brunswick?
When you start with the team, you got to start with its co-captains. So we're talking about Dave Beck and Mike Reisner. And Dave Beck, remember last year, at the end of last year, we were saying if Beck can improve, get a little bit tougher, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. He has gotten tougher. He's averaging 11 rebounds per game, and he's getting better as each game goes on. Mike Reisner is Mike Reisner. Started out the year against Piscataway, probably had the worst game that he's ever had in his life. Scored a silent 10 points, but since that time, he's come on to average 18 points per game. And he is one of the leaders. Again, you have to talk about Andy Ratzka, who was an all-tournament player for the Eastern States, and Andy's just like a hound dog. He's at you from all ends. He's averaging about 15 points per game, and they're solid. Okay. Defensively, you got to talk about Vernell Johnson, probably their best defensive player who's finally come around after an ankle injury, and Brian Tenura is playing super well. He's probably the leading assist man, and they have a lot of other young players who are contributing as well.
Okay, and briefly, tonight's opponent, New Brunswick.
New Brunswick, and when you think of New Brunswick, you know New Brunswick can play basketball. Odie Page has been there for 10 years now, surprisingly. And Odie Page from 1982 to 1987 won 20 games consistently, won sectional titles for those 5 years as well. 1984, they won a state championship. You might remember it, Eric Young and Laneri Summers. And so Odie Page, like Bo, knows basketball, but they're very young, I tell you. Okay. They have nothing but sophomores and juniors in the starting lineup, and they have one of their better players, Tyrone Collins, out with the flu tonight. So Odie just says he wants to improve as each game goes along and be around, be improved by the time the states and the counties come around.
Okay. So tonight it's going to be East Brunswick basketball. They will be hosting New Brunswick in a Greater Middlesex Conference game, and we will be back with the action in just a moment. Okay, we are about ready to begin action in this opening game of our televised season. East Brunswick, New Brunswick. The players have been introduced, and we're about set to go. You see East Brunswick. Bo Henning, the coach. This is Bo's third year?
Bo's third year, and he's done a fine job.
He has.
I'll tell you, one of the starters, Chris Henry, I didn't talk about him in the opening set, but apparently a young man who's been doing the job and earned himself a starting position, so we'll keep our eye on him, Jim.
Yep, Chris Henry had some varsity experience last year, and of course, Vernell Johnson, we're all familiar with him from football. R.J. Davis is on the bench, hasn't seen action this year, but according to Henning, he may get in this game. He needs to get his legs, but this should be a running game tonight, Phil, I think.
I suspect it will be. Of course, East Brunswick may want to sharpen up on their half-court game, though, Jim.
All right, we're going to catch the players as we go along here. Of course, that's Dave Beck jumping up against, I believe that's Sheridan or Hooper. Yes, that's Solomon Sheridan, number 40. New Brunswick gets the tap. That's McElrath. He's the point guard.
And the Bears.
Stolen, looks like by Johnson. There you see that East Brunswick speed. A great save. Reisner. And East Brunswick gets the first basket off the fast break turnover.
And East Brunswick now in a pressing situation. They started out in the 1-2-2 zone, Jim, using their quickness.
I believe there's a walk. That was Sheridan. Took one shuttle step. And right away, second turnover for the Zebras. And, you know, when you run and gun, that's one of the problems. So this is Henry bringing up the ball. And he will be directing action. Reisner underneath, gives it to Johnson. Looks like he stepped on the line.
Stepped on the baseline there.
And right away, East Brunswick comes into its press. McElrath gets the ball up. No, another turnover. He throws it away.
Really.
And actually not quite as fast as I thought it would be. This is Andy Raska. Good outside shooter. 6'4", though. Andy blocked, but he follows it up. And that's one of the nice things about Andy Raska. He gets there with second effort. New Brunswick pushing it up.
Well, he broke the press that time, Jim.
Right. That's Hooper over to McElrath. David Hooper around the perimeter for the Zebras. And basket is good, 21. Mike Ross with the bucket. 4-2, East Brunswick. Just underway here.
And Ross is the leading scorer, Jim. He averages nearly 19 points a game, so he can put it up.
All right, we'll watch for him. Underneath, Reisner, great pass by Henry, but he is fouled. And the foul will be on David Hooper. That is his first foul of the game.
And you're right, Jim. Chris Henry coming up with an awful nice pass, spotting Reisner underneath, and Reisner attempting to go up and getting fouled.
Henry looks a little trimmed down from last year.
He certainly
to
does.
me, and I think he's going to need that with this running game that East Brunswick employs. Reisner good on his first foul shot.
And that's something Bo is glad to see from any of the Bear team. Apparently they're having more problems with foul shooting than they've had in the past. Actually cost them a game in the Eastern State Tournament.
That's correct. Foul shooting. You see it as a nemesis in a lot of high school games. Pressure again by the Bears. And Sheridan gets it across. McElrath puts it up. Off the rim. Fouls up on it. And it's good. And New Brunswick scoring. I'm going to have problems with the Brunswick tonight, I can tell you.
They got
Reisner to Rask underneath. Good pass. In and out.
I know what you're saying. The Zebras have white uniforms with white numbers as well.
Shall we call them white and green? Okay. McElrath again directing traffic. And it's traveling by Ross, second time.
And Odie Pate says he's got a very young team. And it showed itself early on with unforced errors, Jim.
So a couple of turnovers in the early going. There's 5:30 left in the first quarter. East Brunswick by a 6-4 margin. Pass into the perimeter, but it's intercepted. Bears careless with their passes so far. Inside, nice up and in by Hooper. And the game is tied 6-6.
And Hooper's a junior, and he can put it up as well.
Well, New Brunswick, very athletic.
Zebras in a 2-1-2 zone right now.
And the ball takes a bounce on the end line. It's another turnover for the Bears. New Brunswick gets it across. And beautiful shot
I'll
by
tell you, good
Sheridan.
movement by the young Zebras.
And
they're pressing right now,
yeah,
too.
well, off that basket, they well should. Henry gets it across. Penetrates. There's Andy Raska with a short jumper. It misses. And the Zebras come down with the ball and the lead, 8-6, with about 4:40 left in the first period. This is Hooper, gives it to McElrath.
Bears content to stay in the 1-2-2.
Shot up, off the rim, and Reisner with the rebound. And he will bring the ball up. Reisner with a shot.
Ooh.
Swish. 2 points.
And you'd be hard-pressed, Jim, to find a better or sweeter jump shot than Mike Reisner has in all of Middlesex County.
He is one of the fine outside shooters. New Brunswick gets it across. Shot up again.
Good rebound.
Bears being beaten on the board so far. There's McElrath with a set shot. And
Ooh,
good jump by Chris Henry.
I tell you,
He had to, or else he was going into the chairs.
that's for sure. And Roger Gardner showing good rebounding strength underneath there, number 43.
Okay, first substitution for East Brunswick. That is Brian Tenora, number 10, coming in. And Henning has been very pleased with Tenora's play thus far this year as a junior guard.
Brian's one of those consistent players that if you're playing checkers, you'd like to have him on your team.
Ross to McElrath, he puts it up. In and out again, and look at the boards. Raska comes down with it. So this is Tenora. Pass to Johnson. Up, and
Good hustle by Vernell Johnson.
it's good hustle. He couldn't come up with it.
And you can hear Odie Page yelling 2-1-2 when his team gets back on defense.
This is Ross. 3 minutes left in the quarter. It's 8-8. And Raska almost a steal. He tips it. Ross again puts it up, and Raska gets the rebound. And here we go back again this way for East Brunswick. Tenora tries to work it in. Very little movement on the part of the Bears, Phil. Cross court to Johnson. And a quick pass to Beck. Reisner puts it up. And another 2 points. That's 8 points for Mark Rosner. He has 8 of the 10 points for East Brunswick in this quarter. And they have regained the lead 10-8. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Shot up by Ross. He misses.
Another
Here come the
rebound
Bears
by
again.
Raska.
Almost stolen. Tenora, quick pass to Reisner. Up and in. Beautiful shot.
And Mike Reisner is on his game tonight, I tell you.
Very quick guard. Forward, if you will.
Gardner.
And the ball's not falling for East Brunswick, New Brunswick, but they get the rebound.
And Beck comes down with a big rebound.
And a foul call finally.
We got a reach in by Michael Ross there.
And New Brunswick really needed to do that because East Brunswick was just coming back and forth, coming down and making that shot. So at least temporarily, they've been able to force East Brunswick into a half court. But the Bears are up 12-8 now. Reisner's the one with the hot hand. He has 10 points. Johnson puts it up. Swish. And Vernell Johnson gets his first 2 points.
Okay, they're saying 2. It looked like it was on the line. We thought it was a 3, but they said 2.
Zebras. And
wow, big rebound.
it was a nice rebound. Hooper was the one that...
David Hooper skying.
And we're moving quickly here. Now it's 14-10. Just a minute remaining in the first period. Raska tries to put it inside. He does. Misses the layup, but he gets the rebound. Second time, Phil, he's putting home the second shot.
You got to like Andy Raska's hustle, really.
Yeah.
He puts it up. If he misses, he's fouled the shot up, which is the basics that you're taught all the time.
And Bears have McElrath in some trouble, but he gets out of it. Hooper inside, back out to McElrath. He's not afraid to put it up, is he? And a nice outlet pass to Raska. That was courtesy of David Beck.
Dave Beck with a nice outlet pass, and Travis McElrath fouled Andy Raska. You thought Raska was going to switch to his left hand and put that ball up. If he would have done that, well, he drew the foul anyway. Probably would have had the basket as well.
It's a third team foul on New Brunswick. Raska puts the first one in. We're talking about free throw percentage. East Brunswick 56% from the line this year. That is not acceptable.
No, not at all.
However, they are 4 for 4 from the line in the early going here, and they extend the lead now to 18 to 10.
They got the full court pressure again.
Trouble here.
I'll tell you, the trapping defense by the Bears.
And New Brunswick just able to get it over the line. McElrath with 20 seconds left. Shot up. Sheridan puts it in.
Solomon Sheridan. Nice jump shot.
And 8 seconds. Nice pass to Beck.
Oh,
Beautiful by Tenora.
I'll tell you. And we see why he leads in assists. Ooh.
Just misses. And you can see, well, we had some fast action there towards the end. New Brunswick got a couple of points, but the first quarter final is over. 20-12 is the score.
And I'll tell you, you got to like what you see with the Bears. They have so many facets of the game there. Just a beautiful pass in the end there by Brian Tenura. All the guards, they have balance defensively and offensively. Mike Reisner is at the top of his game. Andy Raska is hounding all over the court. And Beck is slowly but surely asserting himself as well. So you pull all that together, Jim, and you got a real solid team.
Absolutely. You see Bo Henning talking to his team. We have a remote mic on Bo, and we're going to listen in on him on a couple of occasions tonight. But right now, he's got to be pleased with the 20-12 lead that his team has been able to extend, even though they haven't really had a really quality first period.
Well, but I think it has something to do with the people you're playing. They're trying to get into their rhythm, Jim, and they're doing a little bit of everything, a little bit of half court, a little bit of trying to run once they get the turnovers.
And you think Missing Collins is really showing for New Brunswick, too?
Well, he's a 13-point per game scorer, so I'm sure it hurts.
Okay, Reisner picks up where he left off. Finished it with 10 points in the first quarter. He now has 12. And the Bears have a 10-point margin. That shot up. And they're calling a foul off the rebound on New Brunswick.
On Gardner, Roger Gardner with the foul.
Right. His first foul.
We have a number 35 in the game, Jim, and
35 is Forte.
Okay.
That's Pete Forte.
Peter Forte into the game.
Right. And 31, Richie Kutza, is in center right now. So a couple of new faces. Good pass inside to Beck, but he misses it.
I'll tell you, Beck's going to learn as soon as he gets that ball to put it right up, not to take that step down low, and he's going to benefit from it.
Shot up, and nice follow-up on a rebound. Here come the Bears. Beck's open underneath, and he puts it up. Dave Beck just a little off. Gardner to McElrath. There's the shot. Good move, but Beck gets the bound. This is Reisner into Beck. Cross court. That's Forte from three-point range.
And Forte doesn't mind putting it up, I can tell you that. I saw him against Piscataway, and he's not shy at all about putting it up.
McElrath to Hooper. And New Brunswick slowing it down.
Well, they're really trying to find something through that defense there. And the Bears are just playing good, solid defense. It doesn't look very aggressive, but they're holding their position, and Zebras can't penetrate.
Gardner. McElrath. That's Hooper to Gardner. And they were patient that time.
They were patient, and Gardner comes up with a nice soft touch there.
So the score now 22-14 in favor of East Brunswick. Forte. This is Reisner with the shot, and it's good.
Wow.
Boy, he has been tough.
He's on fire. I don't think he's missed him.
And I'll tell you what, if Mike Reisner can even have a semblance of the type of shooting that we're seeing this evening, it just makes East Brunswick a whole different team. Outside shooting is really just an important asset to have.
Well, he's just a complete ball player, and you take a look at the young man. He comes into the game averaging 18 points per game. And, you know, Mike Reisner's made himself better. He's participated in the Garden State games, and he plays in a lot of various summer leagues. And if you look at him, he's a basketball player. He walks like a basketball player. And Reisner is shooting 100% right now for the year from the free throw line.
That's amazing. We just looked at that statistic, and considering that East Brunswick is 56%. Okay. So Mike hands that shot. And East Brunswick is out in front, 25-14. We have 5 minutes to go in the second period. And New Brunswick again with a deliberate type of offense.
I tell you, the Bears are just packed in. They switched off to man right now. And they're back.
Ross. Gardner puts it up. And he's hit 2 in a row.
The Bears have really confused them. They're packed, had that zone packed in, switched off to man, and then back to the zone again.
Tenora with the ball. He's directing traffic. Bounce past Andy Raska, but it was stolen. The ball was tapped. Out in front. Sheridan and saves it. Nice play.
Here comes Gardner.
And he puts it up and in. Beautiful shot. And the Bears commit their first foul.
And I tell you, you got to like the touch of this young man, Gardner. It's Roger Gardner. I don't believe he's the football player for New Brunswick. They had a football player that was a quarterback. I don't think that is he. But this young man has shown a real nice touch.
All right, Tenora will sit out, and Ryan Daly will see his first action. Daly's been another very useful, important player for the Bears. Gardner misses on the free throw.
Varnell Johnson comes down with the rebound.
So you have Varnell Johnson leading the action. Ball tipped, but recovered by Ted Kartzman, who's in the game, but it's stolen. And through the pack.
And he was mugged.
Varnell Johnson was, I don't think he's going to get the foul, however. Johnson pinned the ball up against the board.
Oh, wow, the foul was called before.
Yeah, it was before the shot. That was, I don't think Varnell Johnson even got the foul on that. That was committed by Ryan Daly. Okay. I had mentioned that we have the remote mic on Coach Bo Henning. And let's listen in.
Get the ball when we get the ball in bounds. All right. Against their 23 is a 2-3 zone, 13 is a 1-3-1, okay? So know what the hell you should be in against it. 2-1-2 against the other. In the 1-3-1, if the pass, listen to me, if the pass, I want you still in the high post. If the pass does go into the high post, if it came from here, it's either going to be spit opposite or to a wing or turn and face and look it over. Now, you don't have to do anything. Turn and face. If nothing is there, then kick it back out, okay? All right. Hey, down this end, we got to toughen up on the defensive end. We're giving up shots without getting a hand in the face. Get a hand up and then box out. Let's go. Come on, Joe.
Let's go on the board. All right.
Bo Henning, and I tell you, while we're sitting out here today, you can hear Odie Page yelling all over the court, and you don't hear too much of Bo Henning, but if you ever come to one of his practices, he is a yeller. Make no mistake about it. When game time comes, he feels he said just about all he has to say, and he expects the kids to execute.
McElrath misses on the shot, and here come the Bears. There's Johnson. He's open. Nice move to the basket.
Ooh.
That's pounded.
And Roger Gardner with the foul, I tell you.
So Gardner picks up his second foul.
And Odie Page isn't pleased about it, but if you ask the kids on the playground, they'd rather give the foul, let you not have that shot than
of course.
Then give you the two. Varnell Johnson back from a back injury that had him out early this season. And
Due to football.
Due to football, seemingly he has recovered and hustling all over the court.
He's recovered very well. Makes his second shot. 1 for 2. So the Bears are able to extend their margin now to 26-18. 3:48 left in the second quarter. Johnson with his quick hands. And I'll tell you what, his speed and reaction.
I'll tell you, Johnson and Daly had young man hemmed in. He didn't know which way to go.
So the Zebras inbound the ball. Hooper with it. Guarded by Daly. He penetrates. McElrath. And Zebras again with their deliberate style. And they're going to call a travel. Raska bumped Ross, it appeared, but no call there.
And
but it was enough to foul him up.
I'll tell you, Ross a little frustrated. As I said, he comes in the game with nearly 19 points per game, and he's been shut down pretty much.
All right, this is Daly with the ball. And Mike Reisner, hot Mike Reisner. Daly, though, has the opening, and he puts it up for a two-pointer.
Nice soft two by Daly, and remember, Daly was the transfer from St. Joe's.
St. Joe's.
A year or so ago.
Excellent soccer player, too. And shot up, missed. Never had a chance, really. Daly with a quick pass to Reiser. Of course, he's going to put it up, and that, I think, is his first miss. Good rebound by Johnson, and puts it up and in.
Good hustle. Raska and Johnson both going for the ball. Johnson prevailing and turning around and putting it back up to 2.
So East Brunswick regains its 12-point lead. It had that. That was its biggest lead before in the second quarter. 30-18 now, but New Brunswick comes back. Missed again. And East Brunswick has been scoring in streaks here. And this is a bit of a run right now. They've had 2 quick baskets. 5 points, actually. Johnson again. East Brunswick pounds the boards. This is Daly. Reisner, 3 points. No, quick pass underneath. This is Raska.
Okay.
Good movement.
Good movement, really. I'll tell you, an unselfish team there. I tell you, Reisner, we thought was going to go for a 3. Saw Johnson open underneath, passed it out.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to know what East Brunswick's shooting percentage is from the outside. They are really doing well. 32-18 is the score with 1:40 left in the second period. And New Brunswick not really able to penetrate this zone. And they're going to catch Johnson on the foul. That is only the 3rd team foul for the Bears, so they've been under control. To the line is
Sheridan, Solomon Sheridan.
Sheridan. He makes the first, we'll have a second. And that one is good. 32-20. East Brunswick still with its 12-point margin. 1:30 left in the second quarter. This is Reisner. Back to Daly. Inside. Johnson just didn't have the angle on it.
Making a lot of moves, but it hasn't just been able to find the touch.
Whoops.
Nearly a walk.
I thought they were going to call it. Raska with the rebound. Here we go. Reisner sees Daly, but elects to take it himself. And Mike Reisner again.
And they don't need to say much. Mike Reisner is just putting on a clinic today.
14-point lead for the East Brunswick Bears. 34-20. Under a minute to go in the second period. That one's out. And here we go again. Johnson's open on the right. And they're going to call a travel. Warnell was not able to.
Johnson wasn't able to get a hold of it.
Yeah. 52. So far, I have Mike Reisner with 17 points in this first quarter.
Not
first
surprising.
Period.
He's been hot.
Wow. First half. This is Russ. He looks for an angle but finds nothing. And we got a 3-on-1 here. And Reisner is accused of stepping on the line. And so the ball will go back to the Zebras. 33 seconds left to go. And Ross in and out. Solomon Sheridan with the rebound. He puts it in. And Sheridan is the leading scorer for the Zebras with 8 points. And that makes the score 34-22. 15 seconds left to go in the half. And a steal. Lazy pass. Lazy pass by Varnell Johnson.
I'll tell you,
Puts
David Hooper with a nice steal there, however.
Not enough time here. We got 3, 2, 1. Daly puts it up. And they're gonna call it, of course.
What a ridiculous play.
It really was.
What a ridiculous play, I tell you.
They went up and the ball went through the hoop.
Wait, they didn't call it yet, Jim. Let's see what the officials do. The officials saying it didn't have a chance of going in. Jim.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to know what happened, the New Brunswick player went up through the net, which is illegal, and you're not allowed to do that. Otherwise, it's considered goaltending. But I think the official was saying the ball didn't have a chance of going in.
Well, who's to say, Phil? In any event, that is the end of the first half of action. The score is 34-26.
I don't think Mr. Lopez, the official, just winked at me, did he?
They didn't have an answer, or at least a quick enough answer, and I know Odie Page was breathing a sigh of relief because that could have been that's a 4-point turnaround, well, 2-point turnaround at least. But Phil, really a nice half of action here for East Brunswick, 34-26. They got a good lead. And, of course, Mike Reisner with 17 points, really showing the way.
He is one of the finer players in the county. He's a pure basketball player, and you just watch his moves, his touch. He works at his game, and it's paying off.
All righty, so that's the first half of action between East Brunswick and New Brunswick, and we will be set to go with the third quarter in just a moment. All right, we are back for the beginning of the second half. We see some spectators enjoying the game. Rather nice crowd here tonight. As we saw in attendance some former East Brunswick athletes. Of course, Brian Forte, who is at the University of Miami, is here. Dave Furtick, who graduated from last year's basketball, last year played basketball, graduated, is at Princeton this year playing JV. And now here we go. This is New Brunswick McElrath with the ball, looking for somebody to pass. Should mention that Reisner was the leading scorer with 17 points in that first half. Far and away, there's a travel. Raska chipped in with 8 points.
And I'm sure Odie Page went into halftime and said, listen, you know, for how we played, we're only down 10 points, 5 baskets. So if we take good shots, play good defense, we can get back in the game.
All right, East Brunswick still with that 10-point lead, 34-24. I think I mentioned it was 34-26, but they attacked on an extra basket. That has been corrected. Beck with a nice inside move, but the ball's not falling for him. As a matter of fact, he has but 2 points in the game. And Dave Beck having a hot and cold year.
Not one of his better nights right now. And yet, when the ball's thrown into him, Jim, you can almost see if he a forceful move that can't be stopped by anyone. And he's got to learn to just make those moves.
Bounce pass, lazy bounce pass, stolen by Daly. And this is Reisner. Don't give him room. Quick turnaround by Indy Raska. No good. And this is the Bears now, the Zebras with a quick pass.
I'll tell you, that was a bounce pass not intended for the player that got it.
Right.
And sort of threw things off for the Zebras. Again, the Zebras got to be patient, make good shots, and they can get back in this game.
Shot up and in by Sheridan. He's the leading scorer for...
They're down simply 8 points, Jim.
Down by 8 points. That's the 10th point for Solomon Sheridan. 34-26. And the Bears need to put on another little bit of a mini run here. New Brunswick hanging just close. There's Reisner. So wishing. That's a three-pointer. And a very opportune three-pointer at this juncture. 37-26. That gets the lead back up to 11.
There's the back pressing, and Daly almost stole the ball.
All right, Henning really wants to see his team come alive. Rather disgruntled first half.
And there goes the full court press.
And let's watch to see if we can get some turnovers. It's Johnson on top of this. McElrath again, he likes to put it up, and this time he hits. 4-3, so they're back to 8. 37-29, 6 minutes left to go, third period. East Brunswick versus New Brunswick. And bounce pass to Johnson. He had the angle. And a nice soft touch.
And I'll tell you, Johnson's due for one to go in, and he's made some very forceful moves, and this time he made the basket.
This This is Ross. He penetrates.
Left hand.
Puts it up.
Nice move.
And here we go again. This is Reisner. Sees Johnson again. And in and out. Beck, though, gets the rebound. Follows up again. Raska with it.
Okay.
And that's the type of board work that you want to see.
I'll tell you, Beck strong on the rebounds, but cannot put the ball back up.
Well, East Brunswick certainly should dominate with the boards here tonight. They far have the better height in this game. Gardner. Hooper with a spin move.
Nice move, I'll tell you.
41 to 31.
I'll
10
tell you.
points.
David Hooper, nice one-on-one move.
This is Andy Raska. Bounce pass to Daly, but it's blocked, yet they call a foul.
I'll tell you, Mr. Hooper thought he had all ball, but the official's standing right on top of it.
All right. That's Hooper's second foul. No one in foul trouble whatsoever, especially East Brunswick. Only 3 team first fouls in the first half. Daly puts the first one up.
And as we mentioned, Ryan Daly was an all-conference soccer player, so has many talents.
And that one is out. So Daly good on 1 of 2. East Brunswick by 11. Long shot. But the Zebras get the rebound. And there again is McElrath. Misses it. Daly by himself, and he gets past McElrath and puts it in and out.
Daly showing a good burst of speed.
Whoa!
No harm, no foul.
Raska. You saw that sequence. Boy, I held my breath a moment. You remember Varnell Johnson injuring his back in football, and that is almost quite as hard a hit.
He took a shot.
Hooper, and they're going to call a foul on Varnell.
Reaching in.
And Varnell commits his second foul. And let's see, Tenora's coming in. Let's see who he'll replace.
You see Tenora coming in, still has the bandage on that thumb that he injured going football.
So the first team foul for the Bears, and New Brunswick inbounds. That's Travis McElrath into Ross.
Ooh,
block,
block by
nice
Beck.
by Beck. Yes. And the Bears really need to tighten up on defense. There's been too much movement by the Zebras. There you go. Pretty much a man-to-man now, Phil. And Raska put the hand out just enough to cause the angle. Here he is again. And they're going to call New Brunswick on that foul.
Okay, could have gone either way, Jim, but
McElrath will call it on. That'll be his second foul. So
Ratsko will go to the line to shoot 2.
right. And Andy was 2 for 2 in the first half. To go with his 5 field goals now. So he has 12 points. Reisner leading the way with 20 points. And Andy puts the first one in.
And Andy Ratska, as I said, he's a hound dog all over the court. Second leading scorer, averaging nearly 15 points per game this year, and he's a player.
That one missed. And the Bears now back up to a 14-point margin, 45 to 31. We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this game between New Brunswick and East Brunswick. This is not a division game. New Brunswick is in the blue division. Sonora ties up. Whoops.
Oops.
Let's watch this.
Ooh, we got a kick there. The ref apparently didn't see it.
Yeah, Ross got away with a kick.
I'll tell you, another time it would be a tech.
And the possession arrow was pointing to East Brunswick, so they will take over possession here.
And I'll tell you, the officials have been rather balanced, I would say. You know?
Sure. All right, I believe we have a replacement. It's the first substitution for New Brunswick. Kareem Thomas, number 23. He's on Tenora right now. Reisner had the shot, but he elects to bring it in. Misses it. Back with a rebound. Foul, though. Hooper, and he picks up his third foul.
And a good look at Dave Beck there, 6'7" senior, two-time participant in the Garden State games, and he's the man that's going to make the big difference for the Bears down the road. He has to assert himself.
Has to. You know, Beck came on last year, and I think maybe just the early season is a time for him to work things out. Has to get into a rhythm. So he's 2 for 2 on those free throws. Now it's a 16-point margin,
Good hand by
47-31.
Rising.
Russ re-enters the game. And Thomas, after a brief action, is back on the bench.
Very brief.
And this is really the lineup that New Brunswick has gone with the entire game. You see Russ hitting one from 2-point range. So it's 47-33 now. Just about 2.5 minutes left to go in the third period. Sonora inside, pass off the back, and there's a nice feed.
And I'll tell you, that's why Brian Tenora is the big assist man. He sees the whole court and is unselfish and will hit the open man.
Okay, McElrath.
3. That's his second three-pointer of tonight from McElrath.
And you can't leave him alone.
He puts it up effortlessly.
49-36, 2:15 to go. Johnson inside to Raska. Gets the inside move, but it's blocked nicely by Hooper. Sheridan.
Almost walked. Ross did.
And stolen by Tenora, but he's by himself. He'd do well just to slow it up.
And stolen from
back. Stolen.
Again.
Raska puts the ball on the floor. Philly could have gone up with it if he needed to.
Right. Good movement by the Bears. Reisner hitting Raska, and Raska getting fouled, going to the line for 2.
All right, Ross will pick up that foul. It's his third. Zebra's in a little bit of a foul problem with Hooper and Ross, and they have only substituted one player briefly. And now Kareem Thomas is back in the game. Raska in and out. He'll get one more. He was shot, fouled in the act of shooting. Misses on that one too.
And Beck puts it back up.
There you go. 51-36. Under 2 minutes. McElrath, he was good on two three-pointers. He misses this time. Reisner, he has the opening. He'll take it.
2.
And you saw that. Boy, that's a clinic shot there.
I'll tell you.
Woo!
Just perfect form. You like
that?
it?
Was beautiful. And that's hours and hours of just practicing the shooting. He makes it look easy. There's a steal by Johnson. He's got a lane by himself. Beautiful. In and out. And they're going to call it off on Thomas. And Kutza will return. Andy Raska will sit. And the Bears will have an opportunity to extend this lead, 53-36. There's Kutza, Johnson. Back out top to Denora.
Zebras in man-to-man right now.
Right, Johnson inside to Beck, inside to Kutza, puts it up and in. Rich Kutza. And now it's 55-36, 19-point margin. And the Bears have crept out ahead in this third period, Phil. And have what is seemingly a comfortable margin. We have 30 seconds left to go third period. There's a pass inside. Ooh, nice block.
Beck.
Hooper, but he's fouled by Varnell Johnson. I'll tell you what, Varnell has an answer for every time he fouls somebody.
He doesn't think he fouls. He's just being aggressive out there on the court, and unfortunately, he is reaching in.
And that is his third foul, so he will sit out.
And Bo talking to Varnell now about the reason why he's picking up the foul.
Forte comes in. He is on Hooper. It's a bounce pass. No lane. It's Green Thomas. And Sheridan up and in. Boy, Zebras can't find the basket.
Can't find it at all.
10 seconds. Here we go. Reisner on the right here. He puts it up and misses. And no time left. So we conclude the third period of action here with East Brunswick comfortably ahead, 55-36, 19-point margin. And in that quarter, Phil, Reisner had but 5 points. Still in all, though, better movement by the whole East Brunswick team.
They're in control of the game clearly now, and you can expect to see some of the other players coming in during the middle of this half here.
Well, I don't know. I tell you what, New Brunswick does have some good athletes.
They have some young players, as I mentioned at the top of the game. They're all young. We're talking about sophomores and juniors. They have one of the key people, Tyrone Collins, who's not even here tonight because of the flu. And Odie Page has said he just wants them to hang close until it comes county playoff time and state playoff time, and hopefully they'll ride by then. And not a bad outlook. Jim,
Right.
you mentioned earlier some of the homecoming people. We also have Dave Clark here tonight from Maine.
Clark, University
And we
of Maine.
have Josh Miller as well from the University of Arizona.
All
And
scholarship athletes.
that's right.
Except for, of course, Ferdig going to Princeton. They do not give out scholarships.
And he's doing the job down there, I understand,
Yes,
the freshman team.
He's playing well. And East Brunswick, of course, always sending a lot of quality athletes on to college. So we begin fourth quarter action with East Brunswick up 55-36. This is New Brunswick with the ball. As Phil mentioned, they are young, inexperienced, missing one of their key players tonight. And it shows, it really does. They are just they're not the fluid type of team that we're used to seeing. And give credit to East Brunswick's defense. They're playing man-to-man here. Kutza gets the rebound. Reisner is up ahead, but Tenora can't get it to him. Pass to Forte.
I'll tell you,
get
Tenora
the shot
forever
up.
looking for the opening man.
McElrath, of course, he's going to put it up. In and out. Reisner brings it down, and here we go. Beck's open in front there, but Reisner doesn't see him. There's Mark. Reisner gets it inside to Beck. Nice pass to Kutza. And he puts it up and in.
Good feed. And if you're Bohannon, you got to like the movement of the ball.
You got to like them looking for the open man. That's what's going to win ball games for you against quality opponents. You can be hot shooting from the outside one night and cold the next night, but when you find that open man, that's something you can lean on in the tough times. So with that basket, East Brunswick is ahead 57-36. 21-point margin, that's their biggest lead. Sheridan puts it up, in and out. Hooper brings it down and lays it up.
I'll tell you, a good move by Hooper. And the Zebras are pressing right now.
Boy, they broke that easy enough. Wow, great pass. And Kutza again. Talk about breaking a press. 59-38. Bears enjoy a 21-point margin. Matches their biggest lead of the evening. Gardner. Ross. And Reisner got away with a bounce pass.
Right ball, Reisner lost it. He was forced to the sideline, but he did lose the ball.
And I have to tell you, the way he got that ball was off his foot, so they didn't call that, but as it turns out, it went off his knee, and the Zebras will get back possession. This is Hooper. Tight defense, and they're going to call 5 seconds. And this is East Brunswick with the ball. Double team, Tenora. Forte out to Reisner, quick pass to Beck. Boy,
That must have touched every player on the floor there, Jim. With the movement of that ball starting with Tenura.
In the space of a couple seconds. And a beautiful pass. 61 to 38 now the score. Shot in by Ross. And that's only his 6 points. All right, last time East Brunswick broke the press. Let's see what happens this time. Ball goes off a New Brunswick player. There's Beck. And once again, Bears get out of pressing trouble. Beck, pass to Reisner. He has the shot. In and out. It's a little cold this half. Stolen by Beck almost. McElrath for 3 points.
Of course. He doesn't mind putting it up.
That's his third three-pointer.
And Odie Page is calling for a timeout. He didn't get it.
There's Beck. 61 to 43. Kutza almost follows it up. Ross tries to get the pass. And that was the correct call. Went off to Nora. Now you see the timeout. So 61 to 43 with 3:53 remaining in the fourth quarter, I'm sorry. And now let's go listen in to Bo Henning.
You to go double team. Make sure you let the dribbler know, and you show up in an open spot. Can't just call double and sit there, okay? Now, you have the 18-point lead here. Let's not play with a 10-second shot clock here. Let's make them chase us a little bit. Every time they started chasing us, we got a layup, okay? We got a layup, all right? Okay, now on the defensive end, Five's the only guy who's going to hurt you with the 3, I think. The other guys want to get to the basket. Everybody must shoot over a hand in their face. We can't give up uncontested shots, okay? Now, let's go. Come on. You know they're in the 1-2-1-1 now.
Short, simple, to the point.
Right, but he simply said, listen, we're in the driver's seat. They're the ones that have to catch up. Let's not rush our shots. Let's make good shots and use some time up on the clock.
You noticed every time that that they did chase, East Brunswick had the open door play. So we'll watch for that. McElrath, there he is again, but this time he passes inside to Sheridan. Beck comes down with it. This is Tenora, and you can see East Brunswick more deliberate. Forte to Reisner. Mike holds up on it. And you can see now the Bears are taking their time. There's Reisner with the easy shot. And
Nice.
there's the back door.
Right, nice pass from Peter Forte.
And I count Reisner with 26 points off that basket. Far and away the leading scorer. Hooper to Ross, in and out. And you will see the Bears take more time off. 63 to 43 with 2:50 left to go. East Brunswick holding a comfortable lead. Pass underneath, there's Kutza. And Kutza has 8 points.
I'll tell you. And you got to like, again, how the Bears are hitting the open man. It's
Just one pass after another underneath. Gardner. And R.J. Davis is going to enter the game. You know, he has not seen action all season
all this
long.
year, you're right, so.
And Sheridan hits one. 65 to 45. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. There's the pass that breaks the press. Reisner, almost.
And I'll tell you, Sheridan acting like a defensive back, slapping the ball down right there. Almost came up with the steal.
A couple of wholesale changes now.
And as you mentioned, R.J. Davis into his first action of the year.
Right.
As you see him standing right there, number 23.
Sonora, Beck, and high scorer Mike Reisner leave the game. So
Ted Kartzman as well. Chris Hickey.
okay, he's another
23 green, not in the book. White shoots 2.
Well, if you probably heard that over our microphones. R.J. Davis's name was not officially entered into the scoring book.
Well,
therefore,
we spoke for him about 4 times. I guess that didn't count.
Doesn't count in our book. Now he is in the game. So a technical foul is the result.
Not reporting.
Now he reported all right, but there was no 23 in the book, written into the book.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, Hooper makes the
you
first.
can see how that happened because he hadn't played it all this year.
Right.
And the people who normally lose book probably weren't expecting him to play today because he's only coming in with 2 minutes, 6 seconds as it is.
Well, Zebras can one of the 2 foul shots.
Time.
And now East Brunswick will call a timeout. Interesting little sequence there, Phil.
Yeah, well, referee Jim Loper doing his job there, folks.
Sure he is. Familiar to the East Brunswick scene. We've
Certainly
seen
so.
him before.
He's been around. He's a veteran.
Well, Phil, this game is pretty much in the bag. Take a look at the schedule, if you will. Friday night, I guess that's tomorrow night. This is a Thursday night here. So, excuse me, on Saturday,
Perth Amboy away.
they'll be at Perth Amboy. Perth Amboy somewhat having a down year.
Very young team.
They graduate, everybody, but take a look on January 8th.
The big one.
St. Joseph up and touching the
Here.
Red Division, I believe, defending champion.
And we'll be here, Jim.
They will be here, and that will be an interesting game for the fans to see. So, East Brunswick certainly has its work cut out for it. New Brunswick, of course, gets the ball. McElrath. This is McElrath again. And McElrath puts it up.
I'll tell you, he's coming on. He's a junior, and he's only going to get better.
This is Davis. Forte, outlet pass to take Gartzman. Cross court to Davis. Hickey with it, and in and out. Hickey looking at the basket. McElrath with a spin move, and I believe Davis was caught.
Chris Hickey, Chris, don't take it out, okay? Go to the slider spot. 2-3. Pete's got it out. Partner, step off 5.
And McElrath will go to the line. We have 1:03 left to go in the game. East Brunswick comfortably ahead 65 to 48. McElrath makes the first one. McElrath is the leading scorer, I believe. $14 points he has. Steal
passes it off
to Ross.
Good move. I like the left-hand move there by Ross.
Yeah, he does. He's used that before. Gartzman almost stolen. This is Davis. He's going to take his first shot. In and out. Tapped up. Hooper, bounce pass to Ross, swish, and a couple of garbage points here towards the end. 65-53, 12-point lead. Nice pass to Kutza. Kutza has 10 points, double figures.
Oh, hey. A lot of garbage shots there, and he's right around the ball.
Wow.
No walk.
Funny call of travel on that one. Ross has had a couple quick buckets, and he makes that one. 3 points,
So this
plus
can
a
be
foul.
a 4-point play, Jim.
Woo!
I tell you, we don't see that too often.
I'll say.
And Ross, as we said, came into this point averaging nearly 19 points. The Zebras have held him down somewhat, Jim, but in the last few minutes, he's come on. And
that shot came with just 3 seconds left to go.
so he's got a chance for a 4-point play.
And he misses.
He doesn't hit.
And that ought to do it. Well, Forte puts it up anyway. And their final score is 67-56. East Brunswick with, you know, the margin's 12 points, Phil, but really East Brunswick pulled away in the third period. And the nice thing you gotta like about this game is hitting the open man. They really played well.
They're an
in the
unselfish
open
team,
man.
no doubt about it, and they've been well drilled. As I said, you got to believe they're only going to get better. We'll be back here Tuesday, Jim, against St. Joe's, and so they'll have a real test to see just how well they come on.
Right, and of course the 26 points by Mike Reisner, 17 coming in the first half when East Brunswick needed that outside shooting. You got to feel good about him. Dave Beck with a so-so game. We had heard good things about him. He didn't seem to be able to get on track this evening. But all in all, East Brunswick, you can see East Brunswick, and of course Bo Henning goes deep to his bench, which is another nice thing.
He has a lot of depth. That's a fact, and that's going to bid them well the further they get into the season.
All right, so that's your final this evening. East Brunswick with a 67-56 win over New Brunswick. And that'll about do it here this evening. So this is Jimmy Allinder for Phil Hill saying, have a good evening.